Folks, you can send me an email anytime, jeff@570news.com, Jeff. Phone numbers 519-570-2545, out of town, 1-800-570-5715. A year or so, 2 years ago, I had the honor of being the moderator at a World Religions Conference that was at the University of Waterloo. And I was introduced to a sect or a branch of the Muslim community that was completely different than the Muslim community I was being told to expect, if you know what I mean. Okay? Well, the Ahmadiyya Jamaat is the group I'm talking about. The local branch of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community will be launching a new campaign from the west end of the City of Guelph, rejecting violent jihad. And a pal of mine, Nabeel Rana, will be on to discuss that, and we'll get to that in just a moment. A few years ago, I was asked to moderate a World Religions Conference at the University of Waterloo, and it was a whole day affair, and I met a lot of great folks. And the guy who was the organizer, and there were a lot of people that were organizing it with him, but my point man, the guy I worked with all day and would do it again if he asked me, depending on scheduling, was Nabeel Rana. And Nabeel is joining me now. How are you, Nabeel?
Good, thank you.
You know, it has been a couple of years, but I can remember right away my eyes being opened, and I came away from our conference that day with the philosophy of the teachings of Islam, which was a different publication altogether. And I had a chance to look through that. And some of the things about that, and I've had it in my mind as the Ahmadiyya Jamaat, which keeps in my mind. Is that the proper way to say it?
Yes, absolutely. The Ahmadiyya Muslim Community or Muslim Jamaat, yes.
And Nabeel, the one thing that you talked to me about, before we even had the conference, and I had no idea about this, because people don't get that Muslim faith or people that that are in in Islam, there are different sects or different faiths within the faith. For example, you told me the Ahmadiyya faith of Islam was the first to outright reject violent jihad over 100 years ago. That's in the books that I have here, and you're one of the also most persecuted groups as well. Over time, if we look back to the old world, can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. The Ahmadiyya Muslim Community was founded over 124 years ago by Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, who claimed to be the promised Messiah and Mahdi, who was prophesied in the Holy Quran as well as the Holy Bible and other holy books of the world as a later-day reformist who would come and revive Islam, just like the first Messiah came to revive the Judaic law. Similarly, there would be a Messiah in Islam who would revive the Muslims. Now, when our community was founded over 124 years ago, it was considered fanatic by the extremists that somebody claims to be a Messiah, a prophet from God, and therefore we have been persecuted in many Muslim countries, most notably in Pakistan, Indonesia, and Bangladesh, and some other Middle Eastern countries.
And Nabeel, could I stop you right there for a second? It's important, I think, for the audience to know that you originated in India, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay.
The promised Messiah was from India, Qadian, a small town in Punjab province. Mm. So every time there's a terrorist attack or a bombing like the one in Boston, or the arrest of the Weirdo terror plot, we see this debate between Muslims and terrorism. So we want to set the record right, and we have been saying this for over 100 years that this is not jihad. It's a totally wrong interpretation of jihad, which the radical Muslims take, and this is not what the jihad that was mentioned in the Holy Quran or by the Holy Prophet Muhammad, the founder of Islam. So we are trying to set the record right here.
Now, as I understand it, there'll be members of your mosque will be marching in Guelph?
Yes, we have a nationwide campaign. The local community of Kitchener-Waterloo-Guelph, we will start from Guelph and then move on to Kitchener and Waterloo in different areas in the following days and times. But we will have a collective campaign in Guelph, in the west side of Guelph, where we will be actually going door to door, giving out flyers that outline the true message of Islam, the true message of what jihad means, what jihad is, and what the promised Messiah, the Muslim reformer, taught us that what jihad should be. So we want to tell, we're trying to do something that is good. I mean, what we see mostly whenever there's a bomb or whenever there's a terrorist attack, that gets the highlight in the media. But when Muslims are doing something good, like last year, we launched a Muslims for Life campaign in the United States, and we raised blood for over 60,000 people. But that did not get the spotlight as the spotlight that was given to the bombings that the Muslims did.
I think and I've often, when I've talked to people, and you may have heard me, Nabeel, when I talk to people, I have often said here, and especially the last few weeks, I cannot and will not ever paint everyone with the same brush. And to look at 1.2 billion people, that's a ridiculous notion when I know individuals who are of the faith, the Muslim faith, that I know personally. It's just a little it must be very difficult for you, because for me, I can't change their mind. Some people, I try to say this and this and this happens and this happened, and can you believe that not everybody is a radical, jihadist? No, they all are. You're wrong, but it's better, and I think good that we get your particular. Can I say? Do we describe it as a sect of Islam, or do we describe it as
Yeah, that's right. A sect or a denomination within Islam. It's a reformist movement, you can call. We consider jihad as a spiritual striving to attain nearness to God, something to exert by oneself to become a law-abiding person. Jihad is not a fight with swords and guns, but it's a fight from within ourselves. Like with every day, you're born with something. Every day you wake up with that evil inside you that you want to conquer. That is jihad, and that is the jihad that the Holy Prophet of Islam, Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that is the greatest jihad. Now there is a lesser jihad which is war, but that there are so many conditions for that only if you are attacked, then you can retaliate. And even then, you cannot kill innocents. You cannot kill children and women and so on and so forth. So it's a totally wrong notion that the radical Islamists have taken. And they're misinterpreting the Quran. So we will be giving out free copies of the Holy Quran for people to see as well and read themselves and try to understand our face of Islam.
Well, thank you very much for your time, my man. And this will be beginning at 11:30 a.m. on Sunday in Guelph on 195 Road. Nabeel, it's been too long since we've had a coffee. We better do that sometime soon.
Yes, absolutely. We might.
Okay, my man, I'm going to have to let you go because it's time for me to check in with the newsroom.